Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about shade. I love my shade gardens. I think that they're really underrated. And right now in my area, the Chicago area, Zone 5, we are just about having our spring ephemerals come up in the woodland areas. So our spring ephemerals are those plants that come up in the early spring because there's no leaves on the trees yet. So there's actually plenty of light getting down to the ground. Once the trees kind of leaf out, then the forest floor becomes very dark and they don't really have the energy to produce flowers very often. So this springtime is really when the flowers can come out, they can make use of the sun that they have, and the forest floor is just really beautiful. We've got plants like wild ginger. They have their flowers underneath the leaves, of course. One that has become my favorite is shooting star or dodecatheon. Of course, Virginia bluebells are really important. The wild geraniums come out just a little bit later. These are just wonderful shade plants. A lot of people do complain about the shade, and today I'm going to read just a little bit from the No Maintenance Perennial Garden by Roy Diblick. He has a little bit of a pep talk here about people who are planting in shade. I can't grow anything. It's too shady. Don't think like that. Shade is a resource, not a handicap. One of the simplest groups of plants on Earth loves shade and has been patiently waiting for us to join them in that love, and that's ferns. Many native ferns and their cultivars are ready and waiting for you to discover the character and interest they'll add to your shade garden. As you keep finding, knowing, and planting both ferns and sedges, your sense of shade may be refined. Rather than a challenging place, impossible to cultivate, a shady site becomes a welcoming sanctuary, a spot of quiet calm that stirs and restores you. Doesn't that make the shade sound so wonderful? I'll never think of the north side of my house the same again. I love the plants on the north side of my house. I'll show you a picture right here. And one thing I would like to get into a little bit more is ferns. I did buy some last year, but some of them are a little bit slow growing. I'm eager to see how big they get this year. I also have a friend that has a very large woodland area in her backyard, and she has ostrich fern. Now, ostrich fern is so beautiful. It's a wonderful plant, and even I think that the early fronds are edible, but don't quote me on that, okay? You got to find out for yourself if you're going to eat anything from the garden. Ostrich ferns are very aggressive, okay? So they're not for everybody. This is a very large area that they don't want to be weeding and managing all the time, and it's also a very wet area. You can see moss and algae kind of growing on the rocks here, and they have plenty of ostrich fern here, and it actually just looks gorgeous all summer long. They have quite a tree canopy, so the plants just thrive really well. So that's something that you can do if you have a large area. That's a type of fern that you can use. Otherwise, I would suggest something more like Christmas fern, marginal wood fern, or maidenhair fern. I think the marginal wood fern and the Christmas fern can tolerate more dry than some of the other plants like maidenhair fern. And there's one more, and I'll put it up on the title because I forgot what it's called. But this is just to show you that there's so many wonderful things about the shade, and that every day we can be reminded that the shade is a wonderful place to sit and relax. It's been so hot the past few summers, and I know those of you who live in the South, it's hot for several months in a row, and you really appreciate your shade there. Thanks so much for watching this video. We'll see you next time, and happy planting.